What's good, everyone? Enrique with another video, and this time I'm coming at you with the DrumBrute Creation Edition and showing you my top 3 tips about the DrumBrute line itself. So let's get into it. Alright, so on to tip number 1. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you know that I enjoy taking things off the grid and playing a little bit more unquantized, if you will, when it comes to making music. Basically just injecting you as a human being into your music, because we all have our own natural swing, our own natural rhythm and clock within ourselves, and yeah, we should hear it because it's natural, it's us, you know, it's our music. So what the DrumBrute allows us to do is actually record unquantized, which is really, really cool, especially for an analog drum machine. So to do this, I'm going to go ahead and hit record, hit play, and place a perfectly quantized closed hat, just so we can hear how unquantized we can actually get. So hold down the 8th, records on, just press this to give myself a perfect end recording. So when I say unquantized, it's to an extent. It's not fully unquantized, but it's enough that it sounds pretty much like us. And what I'm even trying to say right now is that each step basically can be pushed 50% forward and 50% back. And there's basically enough space that these two can almost meet. And when you hit record and turn unquantized recording on, it'll allow you to record into those values versus perfectly on the step. So to turn on unquantized recording, you're going to hold down shift and hit the record button. So with that on, when you're holding down shift, that means unquantized is turned on. So letting go of shift, pressing play, press record. Let's play something in. Alright, so that was pretty on, but let's try and do something almost purposely off. So let's see. Yeah, you basically get the idea. Here how it's kind of not fully there, but it kind of is. Let me turn this garbage off. So that's how you turn on unquantized recording. It's a really fun way to kind of give yourself your own swing. And on that note is a perfect segue to tip number 2, is that you can actually edit your unquantized playing, or you could just go ahead and take some notes off the grid. So focusing on the closed hat again, we have it perfectly on. Right, let's slow this down a little bit so we can really hear it. 110, sure. If I hold down a step, I can turn the swing knob and access that value of plus or minus 50 that I mentioned earlier. So listen to that. Now this is a little late. Right? Or I can even push it negative, which makes it early. The cool thing is you can actually see this value with the LED representation. Right? So watch, we'll push this one a little late. You can kind of see it almost pauses here. And this is per track too, because if we put a kick drum in here, you know, it's a great way to kind of get some swing out of this with the swing still being set to 50. The cool thing too is if we were to go and look at this again, I can take multiple steps at once by holding them down and turning it and setting them all to the same, basically tripped out value. So that's an easy way to kind of get some swing out of this. And on to tip number 3, which you may have already noticed or are wondering why is this dude doing things so weird, is that I like to use my open hat as a closed hat and my closed hat as an open hat. So why am I confusing myself, right? Why would I ever do this on purpose? It's because the closed hat, which it has every right to, takes precedence over the open hat's trigger. So this closes or chokes the open hat, which makes sense. In the natural world and in nature, the closed hat usually takes dominance over the open hat, and the open hat's a little bit more submissive to the closed hat, so it makes sense. But in my ideal world, where I like to make house music, and usually most house music has your typical open hat that goes throughout the entire song. For example, this. Let's give ourselves a kick, right? Typical. This is house music since the history of house music, I guess. Your closed hat will then kind of create this cool shuffly pattern within it, but because it takes precedence, it chokes it. now I need to go back and edit each step of my closed hat that lands on the same step as my open hats and take them off so the open hat continues to play, right? There we go. But that, see, I had to stop my workflow. I had this idea, I had this groove that I was thinking on, and this was just Buzz Killington and totally took me out of the zone. So to avoid this, I switch their roles. Because when I listen to these two and I have their values set to the exact same thing, I'm pretty sure that these are the exact same circuit. To me, that sounds the same. If they're different or somebody from Arturia wants to chime in, I mean, leave me a comment. Let me know. I would love to learn more about what's behind this, but to me right now, they sound like exactly the same. So, as opposed to having my closed hat be closed, open hat be open, I have my open hat be closed, and my closed hat be open. See, it's still confusing, but again, once you get used to it, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this pattern and do exactly what I just said. I got my closed hat. Give myself your typical boring old house music. Done. On to the next record. Now I can go hit record and write freely without having to worry about my closed hat being choked. Oh, and I still have unquantized recording. That's why it sounds bad. Here we go. Cool. Easy peasy, right? Super duper awesome. Great features on the DrumBrute. I'm starting to really like it. I just got it in. If you guys want to see some more videos on it, please let me know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you didn't like this video, please, I'm begging you, give me a thumbs down and let me know how I can make these videos better for you. But with all that aside, you can always follow me on my Instagram, where I post a lot of other videos like this in my studio with a bunch of other gear, and there might be something in there you want to see a video on, so hit me up on my Instagram and let me know about it. But with all that aside, you guys know the drill, and that's to share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Peace.